I like to take attendance before I start live streaming because I try to minimize the amount of like sensitive information that I'm putting in a public domain. Obviously, you just want to keep that to a minimum. Let's pause that. I can actually shut that down. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Again, there's one person on the chat that he needs to DM me, Mr. Gang. If I'll give you a few more minutes. If you haven't either DM me, like just identify yourself or change your screen name to your student name, then I'm going to put you back in the. All right, I thought I suppressed that and it seems like it's still not working. Why is that off? Okay, it should be on. There you go. Okay. So that's going. So let's start. Nope, not there. I want to start. Come on. Here. And let's close all these tabs. We'll just start over. Close all the tabs. And we'll start here. Whatever. Give me just a moment. Come on. Okay. All right, so we can start here at the portal, right? So on any given day, let's start here at the portal. We're gonna go ahead and log into Blackboard. Hopefully you can see my screen. Right now, I think you can still unmute yourself. So if anything looks weird, just get my attention. And this is College Algebra 2. So let's open up there. And the landing page is here. This looks correct, okay? So let's start with the syllabus, all right? I think that's a good place to start, especially for an orientation. Okay, so I'm pulling all this stuff from Blackboard. That's our central hub for everything that we need to do. Okay, so everything should be there. So this is College Algebra 2, right? HMETH 115, section 1. I am Professor Phifer, right? So Phifer, that's Malachite. Thank you, Malachite. Thank you. It's my little chihuahua. This is my email. So it's basically my first name dot last name at morehouse.edu. Best way to contact me is honestly during class time. So let me give you as brief an overview of the way I run my class as possible. So this is remote. Morehouse. I don't know how to. Oh, I know. I can turn it down for now. So I'm reducing my audio just to minimize my distractions. So, yeah, the way I set this course up, this is a remote online course. It is asynchronous. So what I mean by that, you don't really have to be here. All I need you to do is every time we have a session, make your way into my Zoom. You get your attendance credit by getting into my Zoom. So everybody that's in my Zoom, shy of Mr. Gang, got attendance for today. I still need Mr. Gang to identify himself. Matter of fact, let me go check. Mr. Gang, are you there? Let's see. Chat. Okay, I got you. Wait. I think so. I think I got you. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's him. Okay, I got you. Okay, so I got Mr. Gang. Okay, and let me check the waiting room. ABCD. Okay, I got the student. All right. Yeah, so okay, so now officially everybody in the Zoom session got attendance credit for today. So again, this course is asynchronous, which means that most of the learning is done independently on your own, right? At your own rhythm. All of the lectures are already available on my YouTube channel. It's basically a copy of what I did 1 year ago. It's the same information, right? So all the full lectures for each section is already available. We're pretty much going to be doing one section per week. All the assignments for the entire semester are available. I'll show you how to access that momentarily. All of the assignments shy of the exams, but all your homework and quizzes, you can honestly finish them like in the next week and be done with everything except for the exams, right? But yeah, all recordings are available. All lectures, all assignments outside of the exams are available. This is asynchronous, so you don't have to stay in on any given day. I just need you to get your attendance credit. With this being a 2-credit course, you're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. Once you hit unexcused absence number 3, You can be booted from the class. You can waste your time, waste your money. Does anybody know what the acronym SYSTEM stands for? SYSTEM, SYSTEM. SYSTEM stands for saving yourself stress, time, energy, and money, right? So, go with the system for now and just kind of take it easy, and then, we'll go from there. But yeah, so this is asynchronous. You're not obligated to be here, but I do require that you get attendance every day. So just log into the Zoom, get your credit, and then you don't have to announce anything. You can just leave and it's okay. I'm going to be, my feelings might be a little bit hurt, but I'm not really going to care. Because again, so the way I run my course, this is a collegiate atmosphere. So I treat you like an adult, right? Which means the responsibility is on you. The ball is in your court. Whatever, I don't give grades. All I do as your professor, one, I'm just a guide or a facilitator. I just set up the court, set up the rules and stuff. And then I just write down what you guys are doing. I just keep a record of what you're doing. But I don't give grades. I don't, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't do any of that. Whatever is at the end, that's what you earned. Out of what you were expected to do. You did like 70%, you did 80, 90, whatever. And in my course, honestly, the way I have it set up, you can honestly get whatever grade you want. All you got to do is make a plan and execute, focus and follow through, right? And you'll hopefully by the end of this orientation, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, so let's kind of keep going. Let me pause for the cause. If does anyone have any questions? Else, I'm just going to kind of keep going. So this phone number is really just to the Zoom session. So again, the best way to contact me is during class, during Zoom. So because this is remote asynchronous, during class, I really use class time as like office hour / a study session, right? I'm not really using class time for lectures. That's already available. But I don't mind doing lectures during class. I don't mind doing anything that's on Pearson during class. So that means if you have a question from an old homework, a quiz, or even an exam, we can actually go through it together. So we have this 50 minutes from 1 to 1:50. I'm doing the best I can to like maximize that time, honor the time, be places early, but I'm not going to hold you. I don't want to hold you past 1:50, right? Because time is the only thing to me that's more precious than money or anything else in this point. Well, I wouldn't say anything else, but it's one of the most precious things in existence because this moment, you don't get it back. You only get one shot at this moment, right? If So, but yeah, so this kind of really just takes you to the Zoom. Again, my email is firstname.lastname at Morehouse. I'm really bad about checking emails. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm good at that, right? So, but I do encourage you to to email me anyway. I use my email more for record keeping. But the best way to contact me is during class. I chose class time as office hours because I know that you're available, I'm available. It cuts out the scheduling thing. We already are available during this time. Because it's remote asynchronous, you already have a copy of the lectures. You already have access to your homework. So to me, it makes more sense to just use class time as a Q&A study session. If there aren't questions during class, then I will either go just do a live session of the lecture, or I'll go through as many homework questions as I can, or I might just be online and sit in silence. So a lot of times I might be gaming or doing whatever, but I'm available. I just make myself available for 15 minutes twice a week. Yeah. Also, feel free to just pop into like my other sessions. I'm on this same Zoom call from 9 to 9:50 and from 1 to 5. So if you don't make it to our session, you can attend another one and just identify yourself, say, hey, this is so-and-so from this time, and whatever it is you need to do, we can get it done. All right. I'm not in the business of getting anybody's way. I'm in the business of researching the win-win. I'm all about what can we do to position as many people as possible for success. That's what I'm here for. I just want to see you guys get through this, do what you need to do, move on with your life, grow, blossom, and go out there and do whatever it is you intend to do towards either this world or yourself or whatever. That's what I want to see. That's my request. The rest of it is, happenstance or circumstance or whatever. So office hours are basically during class. We meet Monday and Wednesdays from 1 to 1:50. Again, this session is being live streamed on YouTube. I typically do live stream my sessions directly to YouTube. So if you miss it, you can always go back and watch the stream. Generally, that's the case. This class runs from today until December 9th. That December 9th is that Friday during the week of finals. That's the hard deadline for everything. I can't push anything past that date, right? So that's the hard deadline for everything. So everything has to be in. That's that Friday, the week of finals, right? So again, we meet via Zoom, and you made it in here, so you know how to find me. That's check mark number 1, right? That's the biggest thing. Again, office hours are basically during class. So there are 2 types of people in this world: those that believe they can and those that believe they cannot. Both are correct. Which one are you, right? 2 types, right? If you believe you can, you're absolutely right. If you believe you cannot, you're absolutely right, right? So that's that. Prerequisite is College Algebra 1 with a C or better or placement into this course. We'll kind of be going, these are basically like things that we'll be talking about, like topics ranging from inverse functions to rational functions, exponential functions, things of that nature, logs, equations involving logs and exponents, sequences and series, arithmetic sequences, geometric sequences, and binomial theorem. But again, these lectures and presentations are all already available on my YouTube. I'll show you momentarily how to access everything, right? And basically the hint is Blackboard, right? Everything, that Blackboard is our central hub for any of that stuff. I'll show you how to access the text. So the material is basically going to be Pearson. You do have to purchase an access code for Pearson, but there's no course ID. You access it through Blackboard, right? I'll show you that momentarily. This is a fairly good schedule. So this is week 1, where I expect you to go through the lecture on YouTube for section 1.7 inverse functions and do the corresponding assignment and the quiz. So every week you have a homework assignment and a quiz that's due. All of my assignments are basically due every Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., right? So you have this section 1.7, again, the lectures on my YouTube channel. I'll show you how to access the corresponding homework and quiz. That homework and quiz is due this upcoming Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. going into Monday morning. But there's a caveat there. Even though it's due, all the assignments are due at Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. All assignments, I mean, homework, quizzes, and even the exams, they have an automatic extension already built into them. So even though they have due dates, you can work on any assignment past the due date. The system is set to take your highest score. You get unlimited attempts at all assignments. And the late penalty is only 10%. There's only a 10% late penalty. There's only a 10% late penalty, right? So even if you submit anything late, if you really want an A, you would just have to get a perfect score on it. Now, the homework and the quizzes, you'll see that it's kind of a lot of work. The homework is a lot of work. And keep in mind that this has been cut down in half from what it used to be in the past. So we've cut it in half just because it is, I think everybody agrees, the way College Algebra was set up before was total information overload. It was way too much information, right? Considering all the demands of students. So it's been cut in half, the workload. You know, now I do encourage you all to like work together, link with tutors, like go ahead and find the tutors. You can honestly take these assignments and sit down with the tutor and you can sit side by side and work and it's okay. I just want you to kind of get through it, get the assignment submitted, but then, you know, really try to learn and like try to get something out of it. Like don't just like, you know, click. Okay, this is correct and that, but you're not nothing is processing. This game of, let's say college for right now, college is like, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So what that means is you got to pace yourself. You got to give yourself space and time, and you have to make a plan and you have to focus and follow, right? So it's not about how fast you can get something done. It's like, do you have the endurance, the mental endurance to go the long haul? This is no joke. Like it seems very simple, but it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. But you wouldn't be here if you couldn't do it. So I know you can do it, right? You have full support. You have each other. You have, you know, everything is there. You just got to take it. So you see holidays and oh, that was an alert. Okay. Okay, let's look here. So College Algebra 2, right? This is correct, right? So we have our grading rationale. Let me think. Yeah, so homework is worth 10%. Quizzes and classwork are worth 10%. You're gonna notice when you get on Pearson, you know, it's a fair amount of homework, right? I don't want you to stress about it. Do the best you can with the homework, but keep in mind that it's only 10% of your overall grade. So like, suppose you did none of the homework, right? The highest you can earn in the class is a 90, right? So on and so on. Quizzes, now the quizzes, the way I have them built, they're like 5 questions, and they're like mock exams, right? So they kind of emulate the exam a lot closer than the homework. The homework has a lot of like support aids and stuff like that. Once you get on the exam, you're going to see a lot of those aids are cut out, right? So you really need to be sure about what you're doing, but you get unlimited attempts at the exam, right? And it's going to take your highest score. So you can just run it through. Now, I think the exams are set to like change every time you take it. So you want to have some level of command of the information before you start an exam. The homework and quizzes are really there to prepare you for the exams. But you can see here by the grading rationale that the bulk of the grade comes from the exams. Between I think it's 3 exams and a final. Everything is on Pearson. And the grading rationale is as normal, 90s or A's, 80s or B's, so on and so on. Let me pause for the cause right here. If there are any questions, this is a good time to ask them. You should be able to unmute yourself if you have questions.
What platform do we use for our work?
We're using Pearson, and I'm going to show you how to access it once we get to the syllabus.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What's your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Beautiful Mind Phifer. I'll show you a couple of places where you can find that link once we get to the syllabus. That's a good question as well.
Okay.
So again, the homework is already assigned, and each assignment has its corresponding due dates. Essentially, we're doing 1 section per week, with each assignment being due Sundays at 11:59 p.m. There will be 3 exams and the comprehensive final. This is all going to be done remotely, so just do the best you can there, and it's okay. The makeup policy is kind of already built into the way I have everything set up, where everything has an extension all the way up into that hard deadline. So you can work on any assignment and improve the grade all the way up until that Friday, December 9th at 11:59 p.m. That Friday, December 9th at 11:59 p.m., you see that's at the end of the week of finals. That's the hard deadline. I can't push anything past that, right? So if you're submitting any question past the due date, it's a 10% late penalty. So makeup policy is already addressed. The withdrawal policy, the last day to withdraw is Monday, October 24th, 2022, okay? The last day of class is Wednesday, November 30th, and December 5th to the 9th is the week of finals, all right? So your final exam will be available during that week. Okay, so attendance. The way we do attendance, again, I'm under the impression this is a 2-credit course, right? So you're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. Once you hit that 3rd unexcused absence, then you could be potentially booted from the course. You could waste your time, energy, and money. And for attendance, all you have to do is basically gain access to my Zoom session at each session, right? So every time, like every Monday and Wednesday at 1 o'clock, as long as you make it into my Zoom, you've gotten your attendance credit. Because this is remote asynchronous, you're not obligated to stay, because all the lectures you already have access to. You already have access to all the homework and quizzes. I typically live stream our sessions to YouTube, so you can always go back and watch it at your leisure. I just need you to check in so I know that you're breathing, you're alive, you're okay. Because if you start missing, I'm like, okay, where's my student? Is he okay? Like, So I just need you to be checking in, getting your attendance, make your presence known so that we know that you're okay. But you have full support. I encourage, for you guys to communicate, group me or whatever. I encourage it. I think it's important across the board. Just communicate, because you're going to be doing that in the real world anyway. So I just built it. I tried to build it where it's encouraged for you guys to communicate, because to me, you need to emulate life as much as possible. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Disability services, if you need special accommodation, there's a number at the end, this 470 number. You can call that number and we can make sure that you get the accommodations that you need. Obviously with cell phones and laptops, this is a remote asynchronous, it's okay. It's totally okay. Cheating and plagiarism is not worth it. I mean, there's only so much we can do with the way it's set up. I do encourage you all to work together. I forgot my stories I had. So like one of them, like suppose you cheat and you just like get the credit, but you don't learn anything, right? I cannot tell you how many times I've had students come back and be like, Professor Phifer, you were correct. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I thought that when I finally got out of your class, I thought I was going to be done with math. I was like, oh, I'm finally done with math. I never had to see another math equation again in my life. They said that as soon as they graduated and they go for their first job interview, the first thing that they hand them at that job interview, can you guess what they handed them? A math test. They were like, God, I thought I was done with this. I was like, yeah, I told you that's what they was going to do. You thought I was just talking outside of my neck. I was like, no, they will give you a math test just to see if you learned anything. So it doesn't, you're really just wasting your time to get the credit, but you don't learn anything. Right. And it seems very like nonchalant and trivial until you need it. Like if you need it and you don't have any resources and it's just you just paid for nothing. Like you just gave me your money and you just wasted your time and your money. If you want to just give me your money, you could just give it to me, but I'm really trying to equip you to defend yourself on all levels when you're alone. Like if you don't have any support, will you be able to outwit the devil per se? It's not necessarily the devil, but you just want to have your wits about you. You don't want to think that you've run from this thing and it's just going to chase you. This thing of math is just going to chase you. And like, I don't understand how like anybody can not like math. Like, do you like money? Well, then you like math. Do you like music? Well, then you like math. Do you like video games like me? Well, then you like math. Because, oh my God, gaming, oh my God, it's so much fun. Because it's like war strategy. It's like timing, rhythm, baiting, the multiplayer games, that's what I played it with. So it's all math, it's all rhythm and frequency, it's music, it's a dance, it's situational awareness. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. I can go on and on for days of the relationship between math and gaming. I mean, but it has real world applications, especially in like war strategy, economy, anything, agriculture, architecture, movies, music, because math is all communication. Again, if you love anything or if you hate anything, then you actually love math. Because hate is the love of the opposite or whatever. But so if you fall into any of those categories, you actually have a natural propensity for math. You just don't know it. So the challenge I've given myself as your facilitator or your professor is to remind you of your divinity. You actually are experts and geniuses. Some of you have forgotten. Right. So I'm just trying to wake you up and remind you of your divinity. Right. So that's my spiel on cheating and plagiarism. And there's more, but that's enough. Let's do this and then we'll take a break. So a syllabus is not a contract between instructor and student, but rather a guide to course procedures. The instructor reserves the right to amend the syllabus when conflicts, emergencies, or circumstances dictate. Students will be duly notified. Right. Okay, and that's the gist of it. Now that's the syllabus. Now there were other questions. Now this last page of the syllabus is just a document saying that you've gone through the syllabus, you understand what's expected of you out of the course, and you'll abide by the rules of the course. Go ahead and fill this out. I haven't created a Dropbox for you to load files. I know there's some way to do it in Box. I just haven't figured it out yet. But for right now, just fill this out and keep it on file, right? Just keep it on file. So now let's kind of hop over back to Blackboard and entertain some of the questions. So when you look, and also feel free to type your questions in the chat. Right now, again, you can unmute yourself. I kind of suppress my volume so that I can focus. But feel free to type in the chat as well, and I'll check the chat periodically. What's the time? Let me check one more thing on Zoom before I go forward. I think I am still streaming. Let me check the chat. Let's see. When you say that we can take the test multiple times, are you talking about the test? There are 60% of our grades. Yeah, so I want to say there are 3 exams and a final. Those 3 exams, I think, are 20% each, right? So 20, 40, 60. And the system is set to take your highest score. So whatever your highest score is, it'll take your highest score. And you get unlimited attempts. And if you submit it late, it's only a 10% late penalty. But whichever score is the highest, that's what's going to show. Okay. So when you log into Blackboard, this is, I need to check. I forgot one other thing. Yeah, okay. And let me get these students. Let me stop this real quick. Let me see. Does that help? I think that works. Okay. That's fine. Let me get this student. Okay, I got him. I don't know who that is. You can't have your name as One Piece discussion. I get it. It's cool, but I still haven't gotten into One Piece. I know he has. I know it's a good story. I just haven't done it. I'm a Dragon Ball Z person. That's what I grew up on. I enjoyed Super. All right.
Yeah, me too.
So I have a One Piece discussion person. I don't know who you are, so you want to either in the chat, you want to tell me your student name so I can get you credit, and going forward, you want to either log in with your Morehouse ID or just make sure your student name is showing so I can give you credit. But for right now, I just let you in because it's the first day. You know, and I just want you to be in attendance. But I generally, if I don't recognize you, I generally don't let people in. Okay. So, all right. So now, again, so this is being remote asynchronous. Anything that you need, basically our Blackboard is our central hub for all the links. I want to say there are 4 main links that you need to be aware of for success in my class, right? So once you log into Blackboard, you open up this folder. So the first link is Zoom. You successfully got into my Zoom, shy of, I think, one person, whoever the One Piece person is. But everybody else got attendance, all right? You got your attendance credit. So if you ever see me writing anything, like working a homework question or doing any kind of presentation, I put the notes right here in this item number 2. So it's a link that's going to take you to Box, and there you'll find like my notes. So anytime we meet and lecture notes and things of that nature. So to access the assignments, this is item number 3. It says all assignments. That's going to take us to Pearson. And the 4th main link that you need is this to my YouTube channel. So this live stream that I'm doing, all the recordings, they're in that link, right? So that's where everything is right here on Blackboard. So let's hop over to this Pearson. So when you click on item number 3 and you get to all assignments, you see this, you're going to be prompted for payment, right? Now, if this is College Algebra 2, if you did College Algebra 1 and you use Pearson already and it's the exact same book, you should not have to purchase access again. Morehouse. So if you took College Algebra 1 with the exact same book, just try logging in and see, you know, if you go to Blackboard and you click on this first link, the all assignments, I'm going to click there. So if it's done successfully, it'll look like, let me see, trying to let it load. It'll look like this, right? So here's another place you have, again, a link to my YouTube channel with the lectures. And so for this week, right, this is week 1. You're responsible for section 1.7 inverse functions. It's due this upcoming Sunday night at 11:59, which is August 21st at 11:59 p.m. Unlimited attempts. You could work on it past that due date for a 10% late penalty, all right? Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, that's there. Can't think of anything else. Okay. Are there other questions, comments, or concerns?
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was the discussion guy. I was trying to go to the Zoom. Normally, I'm able to just log into the class and it just has my name, but I don't know why. But it said I needed like.
Is this
I needed like.
Is this the One Piece discussion?
Yeah.
What's your student name?
Leader Omakanya. I put it in the chat.
How do I spell your last name?
Omakanya. OMOKANYE.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. You could have sent it to the chat as well. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
When I was trying to log into the Zoom, it was like it needed like a student thing, and I was trying to do it, but it was very hard.
Yeah, it's okay. But you got it. You got your credit. It's no worries. Yeah, I got you. So again, so this is remote asynchronous. You're not required to stay. I'm trying to think. Once you've gotten your attendance credit, you know, is there a way I can just leave that on? Once you got your attendance credit, that's the main thing. And so basically I use class time as like a study session, as a Q&A. So class time is the best time to kind of like ask me questions. Or, you know, we can talk about anything that's on Pearson. So we have a solid 20 minutes, right? Let's, I kind of want to take some time. Actually let's do a few questions from Pearson, because I want to do like a demo on Pearson, right? So now this is assuming that you're able to get full access. And so once you've gotten your full access, a student earlier, I asked him, I was like, how much is this showing? He said it was about $109 and some change, right? So about 120 should cover it, right? To gain access. And then you access it, and, you know, just follow the prompts. You access it through Blackboard. So with full access, I'm going to go ahead and open up the assignments. And let's open up the first assignment, the 1.7 inverse functions. Let's just start with question number 1.
Where do you go to get to Pearson's on Blackboard?
Okay, so how to access on Blackboard. So when you go to Blackboard, give me a moment. So when you go to Blackboard, the landing page is, it'll look like this. So when you log in, it'll look like this.
Yeah.
You click on this folder, and then you go down to folder number 3 that says all assignments. You click there. And then the first item that says My Math Lab Math, all assignments, you click there. And then, yeah, you're going to be prompted for payment and all this stuff. So let me just I want to do a demo to show you some of the capabilities of Pearson, in case you might not be familiar with it. So the lecture associated with this is already available. Let me see. Let's do like this. Can we just keep going? Can we suppress that? That'll do it. Okay, let's go like this. All right, okay. So I was just trying to make it so you can see it. So it says the graph of a function f is given. Use a horizontal line test to determine whether the function is 1-to-1. So I'll just state it for right now. 1-to-1 means that every x corresponds to exactly 1 y and vice versa. All right. So that means if every x corresponds to exactly 1 y, you don't have 1 y corresponding to 2 different x's. That's like a parabola, right? A parabola is a U-shaped curve. That's an example of something that fails the horizontal line test, because you can draw a horizontal line and it'll touch the graph more than once. So that means it does not have an inverse, right? So is this an example? If we were to draw a horizontal line, is this an example of a graph that would pass the horizontal line test, yes or no? All right, this one will be yes. All right, I'm gonna click on yes. And can I just hit enter? All right, we got it correct. Let's go to the next question. Let's see, use the horizontal line test to determine whether this function is 1-to-1. Again, we were supported in that they gave us the graph over to the right. So if you look at that graph, does that graph pass or fail the horizontal line test? Does this pass or fail the horizontal line test? All right, suppose we were by ourselves and we wanted some support and we didn't know, right? So let me see, where is it? Right there. So we wanted some support. So back over here in the bottom left-hand corner where it says get more help, I'm going to click on that. So you have this ask my instructor, right? If you click on that, it'll send me a screenshot of your very question, and basically, and you can type your question to me. And then what I'll do is I'll take your question and I'll load it up on my tablet, and I'll make a short video response and load it to YouTube and send you the link. All right. But also we get the ebook, right? So where it says textbook, that's a digital version of the actual hard copy book, right? With most of the questions, not all the questions, but most of the homework questions have that right there. Some of them, let's see what this animation does. If we click on animation. Let's see. If I go here, can we make that look a little better? Nothing happens. Okay, maybe there's no animation with that one. Get more help. So then we also have my favorite tool is the view an example, right? And so what view an example does, it gives you the same questions with a different set of numbers, which is generally how you're going to experience it. So it's the exact same questions with the different set of numbers. And then when you hit continue, it says 4 parts, right? So it gives an explanation as to the logic behind it, right? So as you hit continue, it gives more and more explanation as to the backstory, right? So between this view and example with all the details for most of the questions, the ask my instructor, which I can give you my input. I know that mine could be, it is what it is. But you have the view and example, you have mine, you have the tutors, you have each other, you have the internet. So that's 5 resources right off the rip, for support, right? So is this function one-to-one? We're going to say no, right? And go on and hit enter or check. All right, what's the time? Let's do 1 or 2 more, right? If f has an inverse function and f of -4 is 2, then what is f inverse of 2, right? So basically what the inverse function does is it undoes a function. So if you have a function is like you have a set of inputs, you pass them through the function, and the function creates a set of outputs. So then what the inverse does, it takes those outputs and it undoes what the function does and takes you back to your inputs, right? So if when x is 4, the output is 2, so then the inverse is going to undo that and take us back to -4. So this result should be -4, and I'm going to hit enter like that, right? Now, let's put a pin in that. Suppose we wanted to see the full lecture associated with this, all right? So let's go back to the landing page for Blackboard. And once we open the folder at the bottom, let's open up this link and see what happens. Oh, I got those suppressed. That's okay. So you see right there, this is a playlist with basically each section. This 1.7 inverse function. That should be the full lecture, I think. Hopefully it's all there. It should be, right? So everything is there. I can't really think of anything else. We did a demo. Let's do a couple more. I want to get to like 145. I don't want to sell you short. I think I closed it, so let's just go back to all assignments. And so again, the lecture is available. The assignments are available. You do most of the things on your own. You want to write your questions down. You want to have one place where you keep all of your questions. And basically, the intent is to use class time as a Q&A. If there aren't questions during class, then I'll do one of the following. Either I'll just go through the lecture and I'll just do a live lecture, or I'll go through as many homework questions as I can. And you can kind of work alongside me. It's just you're going to have, more than likely, you have different numbers. So either I'll go through the lecture, I'll do the homework, and sometimes I'll just be available in silence. Like I'll be on the call, but I'll be silent. And again, as long as you got your attendance credit, you're not obligated to stay. So that's typically how I do it. Let's do a few more. Let's get to at least 145 before I let you go. Just so you can, because the more we can do together, the better. So can anybody explain to me what does this symbol mean? This open circle. Can anybody explain that symbol to me? So that symbol, that open circle, you might be tempted to say multiplication. That's a big X. That's a big no. That's not multiplication. That open circle means composition. It's composition of function. It means the second function inside the first function, right? So if we were to write this out, let me open up my note taker. So like if I go to notability, I'm just gonna do this for explanation purposes. This is nothing official. This is something you definitely need to know, and it happens a lot. Let's go like this. Okay, that looks good. So then, and here, I just want to copy this. 324. 324. Okay. So it looks like we have f inverse of f of 324. I think that's what we're working with, right? Okay. So again, this means the second function inside the first function. So another way to look at this, what this means is, here, let me abbreviate it again. This means the following. F inverse of F of 324, right? So anybody got a favorite color?
Green.
Green. You know, they say geniuses pick green. Anybody know that movie reference? It's an old movie reference. I'm kind of showing my age. But anyway, so that symbol means the second function inside the first function, kind of like this, right? So if we were working this out, we would do the green part first, we get a result, then we take that result and pass it through this black part, right? But what the inverse does, all it does, it undoes the original function. So it kind of like cancels each other out. It's like this function cancels this function, right? So if they cancel each other, then all we're left with would be 324, right? If we were working on paper, this is like what, this would be proper work, right? I'm not even really trying to get you to show work. We're just trying to get through the concepts, right? So if the inverse undoes the original function, this result should be 324, if I can type today, all right? My keyboard is finally working. I got this keyboard. It's a Bluetooth keyboard. It has a number pad, and before it was bugging, and I could not figure out what was going on. Thank you for that notification. It was bugging, and I was like, yo, but it's now that number pad is working, oh, I'm in heaven, right? I'm such a nerd. Okay, so with that, that's an orientation. That's a little demo of, I guess we can leave it here, of what we're going to be doing, right? So again, just to kind of like a recap, the main points. Blackboard is our central hub for all the important links. Everything is right there. It's 4 main links. You can find everything right there in Blackboard. Again, this course is remote asynchronous. Let me turn this down. Which means that every time we have a meeting, all I need you to do is get your attendance credit. You log into the Zoom session. Once you get into my Zoom, that means you've gotten your credit. You're not obligated to stay. You don't have to announce it. You can just leave. It's totally okay. I might feel a little sad. I'm going to miss you, but it's okay. I just need you to check in and make sure, so I know that you're breathing and that you're okay. Are there any other questions before we get off the call?
So the Pearson's thing, how fast do you think you need to get that stuff? Because I haven't got it yet.
ASAP. You don't want this to pile up. So, okay, that's a good question. Because when you go to log into Pearson and you're prompted for payment, there should be an option at the bottom of the screen to get 14 days of temporary access. You want to go ahead and take advantage of that.
Okay, the access temporary thing. Yeah.
There's 2 weeks to come up with the money, because you don't want to wait, because this stuff will pile up, and it seems like one thing, but you don't want to be at the last minute trying to do all this work.
All right, thank you.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Other questions, comments, or concerns? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
So you have to pay for Pearson or to use all the stuff and whatnot?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Other questions? I think it runs, one student earlier was telling me it was showing up to just about $110. Other questions? Okay.
You also
So if
the book as well, or just that? My bad.
Say that one more time.
Do you pay for the book that as well that comes for College Algebra, or just this?
No, you just need the access code. Now, the bookstore might have the book as long as it's brand new. You just want to make sure, if you want a hard copy book, just make sure it comes with a MyMathLab Pearson access code. Right? You have to purchase.
So I can either buy the book that has the Pearson access code, or I can get Pearson.
If you're okay not having a physical hard copy book, my recommendation is just buy it directly, like directly from the site. Like if you go to Blackboard, like if you go to our landing page, you get to this or whatever, you click on the all assignments. That's the simple thing. Just buy it directly from the site. But if you want a hard copy book, just make sure it comes with the access code. Otherwise, you might be wasting your money. But this is how I'm doing like a credit for your assignments. It's through Pearson.
Gotcha. Okay then.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns before we go our separate ways? So again, I'm not expecting to see you all again until this upcoming Monday, same time, same place. If there aren't any burning questions, we're going to end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, guys, take care. Peace.
All right.
Yep.
Peace.